Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, PM briefs UNFCCC on COP23 preparations. Civil servants have questions answered. And 2 more weeks for sugar agreement.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
The UN General Assembly in New York was briefed this morning on Fiji's preparation for the upcoming COP23 meeting. Prime Minister and incumbent COP23 President Voreqe Bainimarama confirmed Fiji's finalizing preparation for the November meet. Akusita Tale has more.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says the design and construction details for a Fiji pavilion that's expected to be set up during the meet is being finalized and supported by the German government.
The Fijians and German teams are also working with civil society organizations for a space in the exhibition area of the Bomb Zone, where leading efforts of non-party actors in our respective regions can be highlighted. Another opportunity to showcase the Grand Coalition in action.
Bainimarama reiterated the importance of working closely with each other to address climate change.
To do this, we must work together. There is an opportunity for growth in the transformation. We must make away from carbon. I have learned of many examples of brilliant innovation in technology that provide hope and excitement.
Germany praised Fiji for taking on presidency of COP23, making a bold move for small island developing state affected by climate change.
This is an opportunity, and at the same time we feel it as an outstanding responsibility to bring together the world, to showcase that it is possible and needed to cooperate between very, very different countries in the world.
Today's side event was an opportunity for Fiji, Germany and the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change to provide a formal information session for interested parties in the lead-up to COP23. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Earlier today, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama also met with the President of the European Union Council, Donald Tusk, at the UN General Assembly underway in New York. Tusk reaffirmed the European Union will support Fiji when it assumes the COP23 presidency. A key area discussed was the vulnerability of small island developing states to the severe effects of climate change. The Prime Minister also urged for greater cooperation amongst nations to address this issue. Aside from leading Fiji's delegation to this year's General Assembly, Bainimarama will also officiate at several climate-related events. A number of inquiries about contracts and salary bands were raised during the second round of roadshows for nurses and Fijian civil servants in Nausori today. Some of the issues clarified by the Minister for Economy, Ayaz Said Qayyum, included salary differences on qualification with experience and postponed contracts. Kelly Vavala reports.
The civil service reform system has created more transparency within the working structure of ministries, enabling Fijians who perform well to be entitled to a certain position or salary.
When we take into consideration the years of experience, with a person who just graduated 3 years, today is now tagged with a person who's been sitting on 15 plus years, 10 plus years of service right now.
The Minister for Economy responded saying the salary increase for nurses depends on the job evaluation of each individual.
Somebody said, well, you know, I went off and got a degree. Yes, but just because I've got a degree, it doesn't mean I'm a better teacher than a person who's got a diploma. A person who's a diploma, we've found in many cases, could be a much, much better teacher. Does not mean that the person with a degree should get the highest salary.
A number of civil servants from various ministries turned up at the civil reform consultation in Nausori today, getting their doubts and concerns clarified by the Attorney General.
This consultation has given our acting Prime Minister that we exist.
Listening today, think the job evaluation is really good from where they were to where we are now.
Minister for Economy Ayaz Said Qayyum also encouraged civil servants to perform their duties to the best of their ability if they want to move up to the next level. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The trial of Shaista Devi, who was charged for allegedly trying to kill her 4-year-old son last year, continued in its 4th day. Police Inspector Sergeant Pradeep Lal took the stand this morning to reveal what he saw when he went to investigate the matter at the accused person's home on the day of the alleged offence. Shireen Shivan with the details.
The prosecution in this case is trying to prove that Devi attempted to kill her son using strips of bed sheets. In turn of events in court today, defense questioned the credibility of the prosecution after they produced an Indian garment sari, saying this was the material Devi was allegedly trying to use to hang the son. The defense is disputing that up until now, prosecution has been saying, and also in the particulars of the offence, that strips of bed sheet was allegedly used by the accused. Defense counsel also said that a sari is normally tied to the roof and used as a swing for children in some homes. The witness continued, saying he felt pity on the accused as she was crying, and informed him that her mother-in-law had been ill-treating her for some time and that her younger child was not listening to her at all and was attached to his grandmother. The case will continue tomorrow. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
The European Union sugar agreement comes to an end this month. Supplies of bulk raw sugar to European customers will henceforth be conducted on commercial terms linked to the world raw sugar market. Ropate Valeme reports.
FAC Chief Executive Graham Clark says Fiji enjoyed a huge preferential price relative to the world market because of regulative and guaranteed prices.
So quite a diversified move away from old markets to new markets going forward.
This will all become a thing of the past 2 weeks from today.
The EU sugar regime, the old preferential sugar regime in Europe, is finally going to come to an end on the 30th of September 2017. We'll wave goodbye to that. And a new marketing era will emerge whereby all of our interaction with our European customers will basically be conducted on commercial terms that are linked to the world sugar price.
To capitalize on our geographical advantage, Fiji has opened discussions with new customers in Asia, promising to give better prices than Europe. FSC Chair Vishnu Mohan says the challenge for Fiji is to produce more sugar.
Countries like Brazil, India, Thailand, they are running out of land to produce more sugar, whereas here we have got land, but we are not producing more cane. I think that's the irony. So I think we just had to get back to the basics and do what we can do.
Mohan says new markets in China, Taiwan, Japan and Korea retain high prices due to freight and premium quality available in this region. Ropate Valeme, FBC News.
Still to come, pipe water for Raranimbulumbulu residents, and Fiji Airways affected by Auckland fuel crisis. Stay with us.
Moala radada ranalika o tikongona taunu singatoka ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bula FM number 2 na serre.
Ya dora chubuli kurnambili. Ibora ni batsukara hambara binaranga. Do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bula FM number 2 na serre. Bula!
Bula FM number 2 na serre.
More than 10 students are expected to be questioned about their possible involvement in an alleged schoolyard rape. The matter came to light following an awareness session by police officers at the school. The report was lodged by a teacher, claiming that a 15-year-old student had allegedly been raped by a group of students on 3 different occasions this year. It's alleged the offences took place between June and July in the school compound. The suspects are aged from 12 to 17. Singatoka crime personnel are investigating the matter. A 47-year-old man convicted of attempted murder and act with intent to cause grievous harm will be sentenced later this month. Rakesh Narayan was supposed to be sentenced this morning, but when he appeared in court, the judge said the sentencing had not been prepared due to another matter. Narayan was convicted of stabbing his ex-wife in the face outside Shop and Save supermarket in Nakasi on May 16th last year. He had also stabbed his ex-wife's husband, wounding him. Narayan will now be sentenced on September 29th. The dry weather condition has made water scarcity an even bigger problem for over 200 residents of Raranimbulumbulu settlement in Madhuwata. However, an assistance through the form of a borehole ends their quest for clean and safe drinking water. Eleanor Rangaivu has the details.
Located in a beautiful rural setting is Raranimbulumbulu settlement, where homes are located far apart amongst the amazing landscapes of Madhuwata. But the daily water crisis for the residents here is anything but.
We are facing this water problem here for last 2-3 generations. We didn't have any tap water or water like natural water like this. People may used to use well, or sometimes they collect rainwater.
The Rotary Pacific Water for Life Foundation, with funds from the Japanese government, managed to construct a borehole for the residents. An electric pump, 2 10,000-litre water tanks, a pressure breaker and 3.3 kilometers of pipes is now supplying the residents with clean and safe drinking water.
A reliable water supply system is important not only for daily consumption but also for the improvement of sanitation in the community.
This is the first piped water system for these residents, and although it took a year to fully complete the project, it is well worth the wait.
Our target area is the rural and the remote communities of Viti Levu, Vanua Levu, and we had also worked in the maritime islands. With the assistance from the donors, we tried to reach the places where there is no proper access to water and sanitation facilities.
The project costs $77,637 and comes under the Government of Japan's Grant Assistance for Grassroots Human Security Projects program. Eleanor Rangaivu, FBC News.
Day 2 of the count for Census 2017, and the process today was more efficient, with households more responsive and enumerators able to make their numbers. Divisional Coordinator Regional Western Nandi, Mohammed Hakim, says most of the enumerators were able to meet their target of 10 to 12 households, with some surpassing the quota. Hakim says with day 1 of the count out of the way, there appeared to be more awareness that the census was in progress, with the public more cooperative. The census count will continue throughout the next 2 weeks, concluding on the 8th of October. The ongoing fuel crisis at the Auckland Airport in New Zealand has not even spared Fiji Airways flights. In a statement released by the company this afternoon, it is advising guests that there may be disruptions and delays to their flights due to restrictions on jet fuel supply at Auckland Airport. The company says an enforced shortage on fuel supply to airlines operating out of Auckland means Fiji Airways may have to divert aircraft to other airports to pick up fuel, combine or even cancel flights. Fiji Airways Executive General Manager, Corporate Affairs Shanaz Voss, says it is a challenging issue, not just for Fiji Airways, but for all other airlines operating to and from Auckland. Meanwhile, with elections in New Zealand this week, the fuel crisis has gripped the nation. Ahead in sports with Jamie Gareth, Baber eyes players for captaincy role, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, and in business tonight. August Vista arrivals increase. And in growing Fiji, TFL connects the tax-free region with optic fibre infrastructure. Stay with us.
I'm Andrea Sorbakroa of Neabu Wendibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the
Welcome back. Leading business tonight. Provisional numbers show an increase of 7.8% in visitor arrivals for the last month when compared to a year earlier. Over 82,000 tourists arrived into the country in August. There were increases in arrivals from New Zealand, Australia, the United States and the Pacific Islands. Visitors coming for holiday purposes accounted for 75% of the total arrivals. The majority of the visitors were between the age of 25 and 64, which accounts for the vast majority of the working population. And we now join Savanada from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading world.
Good evening. Let's look at what's on the economic calendar for this week. Tomorrow morning, the United States releases its building permits change and housing starts figures for August. The building permits rate of growth is expected to increase to negative 0.8% from negative 4.1% in July. The housing starts for August are expected to drop from 1.56 million to 1.18 million. Generally speaking, if consensus is correct, we could expect a weaker US dollar tomorrow. Midday tomorrow, we have the Japanese trade balance for August, which is expected to increase from 337.4 billion yen to 404.7 billion. This surplus is a result of a drop in their imports of 4.5% and an increase in its exports of 1.3% for the month of August. The Japanese yen touched 55 cents against our Fijian dollar during trading today, the weakest it's been since July this year. And that's what's up for global economics this week. Vinaka.
Thanks, Savanada. On to today's exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar rose against the Chinese yuan to close at 3.19, while it weakened against the American dollar to close at 48 cents. The Australian dollar rose to close at 60 cents, while the New Zealand dollar dropped, closing at 66 cents, and the PNG Kina closed at 136. As for the commodities market, a mixed day with oil prices closing at $49.99 a barrel. Gold closed at $1,308 per ounce, and silver closed at $17.24 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, Telecom Fiji Limited today announced the start of another strategic and long-term infrastructure enhancement project. The company has embarked on a high-speed telecommunications optic fiber infrastructure deployment project spanning 90 kilometers along the Rakiraki to Korovo domain along the Kings Road. This project will not only provide service to additional communities and businesses, but will also have the greater capacity to meet the ever-increasing demands for connectivity. This enhancement capacity prepares Fiji for the next wave of super-fast broadband internet and advancement, the 5G. And that was business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead in sports, injuries remain a concern for the Fiji Airways Ndrua. And Fiji to host Oceania Sevens for the next 2 years. This and more after the break.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1। इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन टकटाबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
Injuries remain a concern for the Fiji Airways Ndrua side as they prepare for the 4th National Rugby Championship match against Perth Spirit. With 2 wins in the bag, the Ndrua's toughest match will be against the current points table leaders and reigning champions. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
The show must go on despite the unforeseen circumstances faced by the Fijian Ndrua team.
Tougher. It's going to be tougher as we go. And that's why we need a big squad. It's good that very proud of the tight 5 today. They really did well because of both of the locks were out and all the loose men that were playing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
As the going gets tough, the tough gets going for the Fijian boys.
Very disappointing. It's very disappointing that we lost November, but it's got a couple of weeks to to rehab. We got telling us start training with us this week, and probably we'll see him more next week.
However, Drua captain John Stewart says there is always room for improvement in the team.
It's very hard to sit out and watch the game. To be honest, we're not worried about winning. We want to focus on doing the small things right, set piece and scrum, and like we talked as a team at the scoreboard, the game will just take care of itself.
It will be a top-of-the-table clash between the Fiji Airways Drua side and Perth Spirit this Saturday at 5 p.m. at the ANZ Stadium. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
With the support of government, Fiji has secured the hosting rights for the Oceania Sevens Championships for the next 2 years. The announcement was made this afternoon at the launch of this year's competition. Meli Tavanga reports.
The Oceania Sevens Championship is the blue ribbon event of the Oceania Rugby. Following the excellent delivery of the championship last year, the board decided to bring it back this year.
Oceania Sevens Championship will be a show of the best rugby sevens in Oceania. Fiji will host the event this year, but will also host the event in 2018 and 2019. So there will be a 3-year tenure on that event here in Fiji.
The Fijian government is promising the championship will be an international class event.
That home ground advantage will help our teams outperform all our visitors, including the defending Olympic women's rugby champions.
Fiji Rugby Unions say hosting such an event helps them to prepare for big international events like the HSBC 7 Series.
Considering issues that need to be addressed in our bid in terms of the World 7 Series leg, and also more importantly in demonstrating that we have ability both in terms of technical, administration and support.
The Oceania Sevens Championship will be held on the 10th and the 11th of November at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the pools for this year's championships are also announced today. A total of 13 teams will compete in the men's division, while 8 teams will compete in the women's competition. Defending champion, the Fiji men's team, have been drawn in Pool A alongside American Samoa and New Caledonia. Meanwhile, the Fiji women's sevens team have been drawn in a tough pool with defending champion Australia, Samoa and Tonga in Pool B. The Oceania Sevens tournament will be held on the 10th and the 11th of November. The Vodafone Fiji Sevens players have been urged to step up and show that they have what it takes to lead the side in the upcoming World 7 Series. The captaincy role is still vacant after Shea Kolonisau took up a contract in the United States. Meli Tavanga reports.
Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Beber is following a few players in the squad who he believes can take over the reins for captaincy.
You know, we're talking to several of the players. I mean, you mentioned, you know, people like Jerry and people like Masoulami. Masoulami captained this last year in France in a couple of games, and was, as a 22-year-old, was exemplary in the way that he prepared the team and the way that he controlled it on the field. So, you know, there's boys there that will certainly have leadership qualities.
Beber says the players who will be chosen for this crucial role needs to be comfortable, calm and disciplined, and also gelling well with all other players.
It's a huge honour to captain any country, but specifically to captain Fiji is a massive honour, and the player needs to have the full, I suppose, elements of what is necessary in leadership. So.
Meanwhile, Fiji Sevens forward Kalioni Nosoko says they will miss Osea Kolonisau's guidance.
Miss him, especially in his leadership. But we are here with some of the old players and with the new players coming in. The preparation is going well, and we are trying to introduce players to the system. And
Beber says with the few names he has in mind, he will not put pressure on them by saying it, but he's monitoring all of them on how they're reacting on group meetings and also the leadership on and off the field. The first leg of the series kicks off in December in Dubai. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
Team Fiji weightlifter Manueli Tulo managed the total lift of 240 kilograms to place 8th overall at the 2017 Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Games in Turkmenistan this morning. Tulo's official result was a snatch of 105 kilograms and a clean and jerk lift of 135 kilograms for a total lift of 240 kg. The overall lifter weighed in at 55.72 kilograms and was competing in the 56 kilogram category. Meanwhile, Della Shaw is making a mark as an international weightlifting technical official, having been selected for the International Weightlifting Federation to officiate at the Games. Della headed the judges panel for the men's 56 kilogram category, which featured Tulo. Also, Team Fiji's Aaron Nganga set a new personal best in the men's 60-meter hurdles, clocking 8.45 seconds during the Asian Indoor Games last night. Despite not qualifying for the finals, Nganga was excited with his personal best, reaching the 8-second mark, surpassing his old record of 9.3 seconds. Meanwhile, long-distance runner Avikas Lal clocked a time of 9 minutes and 52 seconds in the men's 3,000 meters, finishing last, but said he's learned a lot from the exposure at the international meet. Former All Blacks flanker Victor Vito was named the 2016-17 Player of the Year in the French Top 14 today. In today's Play of the Day, a heated exchange between two German club teams erupted after a Jena player showed poor sportsmanship and continued to play on after a SV Mepen player tried to point out to the referee that a player from the opposing team was injured. That's it from sports. Join Angie later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, countries are racing to develop war robots. Details after the break.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoi Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoi Viti.
Ayaw ko yaw sila talit. Nagurara may nawamanyi. Nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasabali. Nagunto rongo. Barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoi Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoi Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media, Apple has announced Watch Series 3 with added LTE cellular support. With the new dual-core chipset, it's now 50% more power efficient, 70% faster. Finally, we had an amazing day full of sunshine. Every day is amazing, but don't we just love a day which has sunny spells throughout? Looking at the west, it was dry and settled and quite as hot as well. Eastwards from Pack Harbour to Suva, sunshine was unbreakable early in the day, but was sadly interfered with rainy clouds. And up in Vanua-Levu, sunny day as well with few light rain in Sabu-Sabu. At sea, it was southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. And for the tides, high tide tomorrow morning will be at 5:53 with a low tide at 11:47. See the beauty of sunrise at 5:58. For tomorrow, another sunny day will be around, so we are expecting a hot hump day. Tomorrow's temps, Mombasa will be the warmest at 31 degrees. And looking further on to Thursday, a massive sunny day. It looks like we have finally farewelled rain. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, do you think there should be more awareness on sexual abuse in schools?
From my opinion, yes, it should be done because it protects the children at the moment and gives them knowledge about the outside world because they don't know what's happening in the outside world.
No, because it's beyond our culture, religion.
What I can say is that it is important to advise our children on what's happening around them in schools.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, with air drones now being a fixture in nearly every army's arsenal, defense industries are hard at work developing ground and underwater robotic vehicles, trying not to fall behind others. Recapping the main stories, PM Bainimarama briefs UNFCCC on COP23 preparations. Civil servants have questions answered, and 2 more weeks for sugar agreement. For these stories and more, You can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, do you agree with the name and shame policy for tax evaders? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, the beautiful sunset was captured by Sheikh Hadar near the Ndorvata Secondary School in Vunolebo. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us by Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and pleasant evening. Bye for now.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji One and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kung minasama mo tikola, ndo tali taka na Radio Fiji One and Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyaga sila tali, naguraramay na omanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali tagi yang gitu Venezuela, nagundurong barong na Radio Fiji One and Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji One and Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.